guys, I'm ChezPride and welcome back to another life simulation gaming news type video where today we are covering some more news from both the game Paralives and The Sims 4. And the day I'm recording this, which is July 21st, 2026, The Sims 4 has dropped their monthly update, and this month we have July's patch. So we are going to cover that in full between the patch notes and me jumping into my updated game and looking at things. But also, the game Paralives, the team has made a interesting announcement, and even though it's not my normal type of news, I feel like I should talk about it because I really feel like it shows where their success is going. So everything that we are going to be looking at today, news and article wise, is straight off the game's website. So for The Sims, we have the EA website under The Sims 4 news and updates. And then of course for Paralives, we have paralives.com/news, where it shows the timeline of the development of this game for not just currently, but way back when they first released the game to before they even released the game at all. So if you don't know what Paralives is, because I'm assuming you know what The Sims 4 is if you clicked on this video, but if you don't know what Paralives is, basically is a new life simulation game where it is similar to The Sims, but it's different, but it kind of gives like the same vibe gameplay wise. The only thing is it's still in its first 2 years of early access. So basically this game will be running unfinished but playable for the next year or two as people get their feedback and the team slowly adds things in. But before it comes out in full release, you can get it for a discount while they still create it, and you can play along as they are updating the game, which is what I've been doing. And I've been following the production for this game for quite a few years now, but I have been playing it since a few weeks since after it came out. And when the team officially released the game, I think the whole crew was just a member of like either 12 or 15 people. And they always talked about that, the fact that they want to keep their team small. They don't want to become EA. They don't want to become this huge factor. They want to stay a small team so it stays like a family. But they are recruiting, which means they are expanding. So basically we've gone over the fact that within the first like 24 hours, they went past their goal of what they expected to sell in the first few months. And then within the first month, they sold over 1 million copies of the Paralives game because it was just hyped up to finally have another life simulation game. Wasn't The Sims that wasn't absolutely just horrible. Granted, it's in early access, it's buggy, but the fact that the team is so open to about everything, I think it really helps draw their audience in. And today, they have released that they're actually recruiting for, I guess, does it say 2 new people? Yeah, I think it's 2 new people for the team. And yes, this is literally in French. No, I do not speak French, but it does translate here in this picture. So it says Paralives Studios is recruiting a senior programmer, Unity, and a senior gamer designer, and they must be based in Montreal, Canada, because that's where the development team is from, and they must speak French. So that's why they put everything French. But I did put in Google Translate, and there's nothing here that said that isn't said on this thing. Like I said, they're not going to expand their team hugely, but I think the fact that they're even expanding their team this early on shows how much more successful this game was than even the team expected it to be. I don't think anyone could have saw them selling 1 million copies in less than a month. I'm not dissing it. I am super proud of them. I love this game, but I just think the fact that they are already putting out recruiting when they were originally saying like, we'll maybe eventually recruit someone, make our team slightly bigger, and they're like, oh, well now we have the funds, might as well use them so we can get out more patches quicker and get the game out out faster, which honestly I think is great. So that is really all from Paralives. It's not a super huge announcement, but I thought it really showed where they are now. But when we have Sims 4, let's jump over to the EA website, and this article is on the same website I read all the other articles from, but this one, like I said, was released July 21st, 2026, and it's called Save Options, Memory Boost, Free Content, and more. And pretty much everything in this article, except for like the free content and like one other thing, they've talked about in either laundry lists, Q&As, the stuff I have covered in other videos, but I still want to cover the whole patch note as a whole, and probably the only thing I'm going to be going into game and particularly showing off is the new items, just so I can show off all the new swatches. But if there's anything else that catches my eye, I do have my game updated and we will jump in. It starts straight off with key takeaways. So we have autosave and save reminders, which I've given my opinion on, and we've kind of covered what this will be, along with the memory boost. And then we've continued our commitment to representation for more stories by adding 8 new starter sims and culturally inspired creative sim accessories, all available for free. Wow, they actually added new starter sims. That's actually really cool. I didn't see that coming. The creative sim accessories people will be looking at. And then this update also includes a coach repurposed capsule and welcome Sims 4 music den kit, and expands the marketplace, blah, blah, blah. So basically all things they're trying to sell you that's trying to get them to push the marketplace, which we're not a fan of the marketplace on this channel. And then we've continued refining gameplay experience with additional notification improvements, giving players more control over alerts while they reduce unnecessary interruptions. And then alongside these new features, this update includes fixes for several community most reported issues. So now let's jump into what the actual article says. So it says, social treasure simmers with precious digital lives. Save the Gnomes is here. Yes, that Save the Gnome, the one entrusted with the most sacred duty to protect your progress at all costs. The Sims 4 now has autosave across platforms. This works quietly and eventually, and you may notice a gentle autosaving message while you play. That's me, discardedly, preventing tragedy, but wait, I have more. There's also save reminders, completely configured just like new autosave options. Turn them on and off, and I shall appear in intervals of your choosing to gently and firmly, lovingly insist that you save your game. It's all it takes is one click, sweet, beautiful security. When I was polishing your save files, I also made some memory improvements for smoother gameplay and addressed a few community requested fixes. Now, for other bits of good news, we have free culturally inspired accessory influenced by the Caribbean, Indigenous, Latin America, and South Asian cultures. You'll find 8 new starter sims and create a sim and the gallery wearing them. They're ready for you to shape their stories. So I will jump in to game and show all that off. But they also have some more kits and things on the marketplace. I try to not really support the marketplace if I can. Honestly, I've really stopped buying EA product at all for the most part, which, is a personal choice and you don't have to do so, but with the buyout and the standing in the game, I still play the game and I still go over the free stuff, but I'm not really a big fan of anything to do with the marketplace or the buyout pretty much. So I will basically touch on it, but it won't be something I'm reviewing. So they have Coach collabing with them once again and bringing Coach Repurpose Capsule and bringing 4 items to you on the marketplace. And it's technically free, but again, we're not a fan of the marketplace over here, so we're not going to do that. For the musically inclined Sims who listen and enjoy their favorite song or getting into, quote, tune with their creativity spirit, pun intended, it's time to turn on your stereo, strike some keys, and strum a guitar for your favorite melody from the Sims Music Den kit. And honestly, I've never fully hated the concept of kits if you aren't trying to buy all the kits, but I will say, with me not buying the kits, I probably wouldn't buy this one, but if I was still buying kits, this is one I actually probably would be interested in for my personal use. And I feel like if this was back in the era when I was buying most of the kits, this is definitely one I would have picked up with no hesitation, because I really wanted there to be a banned game pack. Like, I wanted not necessarily an expansion pack, but a game pack that was just around gameplay for music. We never got that, but I do see that they're putting it into a kit now, so that's interesting. And then it just says, now then, open your game, build boldly, style freely, live dramatically, and always remember to save often. So we have gone over the autosave. I'm not going to read all of this, but basically the autosave and the save reminders are new features. Now, I personally have mixed feeling on autosave. If you don't somehow know what autosave is, it's basically where you can set your game to save at like certain time periods. So you can either wait for it to go like every 30 minutes in game time, or maybe every hour in real life. Or you could, apparently from the way they're doing it, you're going to be able to save like when milestones hit or something like that. But my mixed feeling on autosave is it could autosave in the wrong time. Now, if you're like building like a really big build, I think autosave is, if you could set it to like save every like 15 minutes, not having to worry about saving your build. And if something crashes, you have the last 15 minutes to go back onto, which sounds great in theory. Everything else, well, first of all, it's not applied to Create a Sim. Your game will not autosave or do save reminders in Create a Sim, because you can currently not save in Create a Sim because of how the game just runs. You can save your content to the gallery. You can't just save a game from inside Create a Sim, which I always hate it. But you'd think in theory it would sound good a game. What if something happens and you really didn't want it to happen, or you have like a game breaking glitch and you need it to like exit out and you realize it and it just auto-saved way too soonly? Of course, they do have files where you can go back, and they are talking about a memory boost in this platform as well. So basically, we've already gotten the memory boost for PC, but now the memory boost is coming to platforms, which is basically auto-saving your files, like where you can go back and recover save files. More than just the last few times, they're adding more slots, and they're also adding where you can go back either a week or a month or a year, depending on how long you've been playing, which does help that autosave tragedy from happening if you use it correctly. But I don't know, autosave has always scared me, so I'm probably going to be turning it off except in my builds save file. But I do like the save reminders, and basically the save reminders is you'll have a little gnome with a floppy disk. There's happy gnomes, there's grumpy gnomes, there's mean looking gnomes, there's sad looking gnomes, there's a bunch of gnomes, but either way they will all be holding a floppy disk, and they will pretty much just be like, hey, you know, it's been so long since you've saved your game, why don't you go ahead and save it now? And they'll like have a little button where you can just click and it automatically saves it, and I think that's really useful. Like, if I were to have that in my game every so often, not like every 15 minutes, that's a little too much, but like if I had that in my game, I think that would be helpful. So I'm glad that's coming. So in just a second, I'm going to go ahead and jump into game and show you exactly where to turn that on and off, because I feel like that's something you need to know that they didn't include in the article. But while we are on the topic of game option things, I thought I would jump ahead in the article a little bit and read about more notification improvements. So in the last patch, we added new festival notification toggles in the menu. In this update, we're adding the Nordhaven hobby meetups in addition to the ones that we are already giving us. So basically, last patch they went ahead and they gave us the option per festival, which means per expansion pack, to turn off the notifications. This doesn't turn them off in the calendar, but it turns it off in the little pop-ups. The only ones they were missing were Nordhaven and Island Living. So they added Nordhaven, and they explained that basically you can't do Island Living because because there's not any existing notifications for that pack when it comes up to the island meetups. So they did not do that, but by adding Nordhaven, they've given us all of them. And they also removed Sugary Craving and other business and hobby expansion pack related notification pop-ups to help further reduce TNS scams. As far as the festival notifications, you just go to game options, gameplay, and you'll scroll down and there'll be festival notifications and it'll show which ones go with which world. And with that, let me go ahead and jump into my game so I can show off exactly where to turn off auto save if you are not wanting it on. So they actually added a whole new tab on the side for the save settings. So when you go to this little list here, there's a new save setting under gameplay, but they only put it in the save file. So I guess they want you to be able to do it per save file, which totally makes sense. But I wish they had given an option where you could just do it overall, because I really don't want to go through every single save file and turn on the settings I want, because the ones that come with it automatically are not the ones I want. So this is going to be annoying. But once I get it set up, I think it'll be nice. But I am in one of my save files and we have as our automatic savings, we have autosave. We have autosave on loading screen turned on. I'm going to turn that off. Is that an option? We also have autosave on exiting build mode. Honestly, that one's, if you're in a save that you're just building in, is fantastic. And then real-time options, we have every 30 minutes, every hour, or every 2 hours. And you can also do in-game time options. So daily at midnight on autosaves, or weekly on Sunday autosaves. So that's just like if you're playing days or weeks at a time, it saves after a day. And then you can also turn on and off the save reminders, which honestly, I'm going to turn this one on every 30 minutes. You have 15, 30, an hour, and 2 hours. And I think 30 minutes is kind of a safe bet here. But that is the game options that they have. Currently, they are going to be expanding upon them, I believe, to where they add in milestones and whatnot. For now, these are the options that we have. So the next thing we're going to show off in game is the 8 new cast starter sims and the accompanying accessories. Well, we're going to be showing off the accessories. If you read here, it says, our continued efforts to increase diversity and representation within the Sims, we've expanded the pool of Sims that appear when you first enter Create a Sim, because every story starts with a Sim. So basically, they're saying that they didn't technically add them to the gallery under the Maxis account, which is what they kind of made it sound like earlier, but they've just added new Sims that you can randomly randomize. We've been getting those additionally over the years, but we do have 8 new accessories that I want to go show off, because they do show them in pictures, but I like to look at all the different swatches. So we have 2 new earrings, like a beaded colorful one and a hoop. We have 1 necklace that's like a double chain with a stone, and then we have 5 new bracelets. So we have a bunch of little bangles, we have a little yarn made one and a little bead made one, we have a watch and a beaded necklace or bracelet, we have a thicker leather wrist with a jewel on it, and then a simple gold band around the wrist as well. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in to Create a Sim and show off these new items. So I'm a person that is very much about honoring death anniversaries, and it's about the year mark of Ozzy Osbourne's death. So I was like, you know what? Let's use Ozzy and Sharon for this. So I've went ahead and I've downloaded an Ozzy and a Sharon, and I've went through and given Sharon all of the new accessories because, our queen is going to show these off for us. So let's start with the necklace, actually. This is the necklace that we have. It comes in a gorgeous teal stone. I know the name of the stone. I can't think of it, but I think it's like all of these accessories pretty much, because I've seen it in multiple of them. But we have the teal turquoise, we have the darker turquoise, we have a lighter turquoise, and we have a turquoise with yellow and red, a blue with yellow, a purple with orange, a red on silver, and then like an orangey one, and then we have an orange and teal, and then we have an all black, which I think is the most fitting for Sharon. And then we have 2 new earrings. So in this outfit, we have earring number 1, the hoop. So we have it in a gold tone, a lighter gold tone, a rose copper gold tone, a orange copper, a silver, a lighter silver, a white, a black, a silver and gold, and then a silver and the rose gold. So all very metals. And then we have a bit more of a colorful earring with this beaded shaped earring, kind of funky arrow shape, but we have it in multiple colors. So this one is white, blue, red, and yellow. This one's white, red, and yellow. So just without the blue. We have white, blue, and dark blue. We have teal, black, white, and gold. We have green, gold, and brown, kind of giving like Link vibes, honestly. And then we have like the cotton candy girl, like girly kawaii colors. That's like the blue and the pink with the white. And then we have gold, more brassy gold, white, beige, blue, and teal. We have a rainbow vibe with the purple, then the red, then the orange, and the yellow. We have a more pink one, but this one, like, it's not like so much in arrow shapes. It's kind of like almost it has like a bottle type effect. So it's like has a nipple with like pink milk squirting out, and then there's a stripe of white, a stripe of pink, and a stripe of darker pink. I don't know how else to describe it. In that same pattern, we have brown, so it's like a dark brown nipple and then tan, white, and brown stripe. And then we have a black pattern with silver dots, and we have a white pattern with silver dots. And honestly, I'm thinking, Ozzy's wife, the black, obviously. And then going back to outfit 1, we can start showing off the bracelets. So bracelets are a little bit harder to show off because they're on the hands, so you can't zoom up quite as close. But this first one we have matches the necklace. It basically has all the same stones, but with a leather band on it. Honestly, this set is really cute. I really like it. And then we have the next bracelet. So the rest of the bracelets are on the other arm. So these are the bangles that go up and down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So there's the all gold, the brighter gold, the pastel gold, rose gold, inkish copper gold, silver, white, gold and silver and rose gold. And then if we go into the next outfit, we have that handmade bracelet with the beaded bracelet. So we have it in red, we have it in multicolor, we have it in like a purple and black, we have it in pink and red, we have it in a green and red, we have it in a green and black, we have it in a white and red, we have it in red and red again, green, red, and black, we have it in blue, white, and red and black, and we have it in all black. We also have the watch and the bracelet. Always looking for a new watch in this game. And this one kind of reminds me of the earrings she's wearing. The beaded earrings. I don't know why I feel like those go together. I may be wrong. And then we have the simple bangle that just comes in all the metal colors. So that is the new accessories we got. It wasn't a super lot of accessories, but hey, I will take something over nothing. And this is just kind of a smaller patch in general. The autosave kind of took over the majority of this patch, if we're going to be honest. So other news in the article, the marketplace quick buy is now available on PlayStation if you're interested in the marketplace. And then it says, for those who own City Living Expansion Pack, we've added new swatches per your feedback. In the last pass, we've had new swatches to the base game, Yum Cooker Soap. We didn't upgrade the grungy City Living expansion version. So now they have the same swatches, but grungy in the City Living pack. So these are the swatches in base game that they updated, but grungy for the City Living pack, because it's the same stove, just dirty. And then we finally get to the quote mini bug fixes, which is 4. There's 4, just 4. Okay. But it says the EA forms we've done some extensive testing around corrupted lots appearing as save files of residential rentals. This is in the top corruption issue reported that we've been tracking using memory boost, which is now available for all players in this patch, which you cannot turn off memory boost. You can turn off autosave, you can turn off the notifications, but you cannot turn off memory boost. And it says because of memory boost, they're no longer reproduce this issue, so it should have fixed the issue, but if you're having the issue still, go ahead and report it. We have some remaining visual issues we've noticed with UIs when a player has mods installed in previous stages, but we removed them. So resolving an issue where part of a roof or an entire roof section could disappear when viewing upper floors in build mode. Roof pieces should now remain visible and render correctly regardless of the selected floor level, which is the whole thing that broke in the last patch, which I already went over all that drama on my video where we went over the laundry list for this patch. But basically they're saying it's because of mods, but they fixed it. So why is it because of mods if you guys had to adjust it to the mod? I don't know. I feel like they could word it that better. They could have just said that they fixed the roof. But it says that it should work correctly regardless of floor level now. So hopefully that's fixed. We'll see. Is it going to be like the black photos? We'll see. But it says we addressed the crash that could often occur after playing a few sim hours related to caching, and then we fixed a game crash that could occur after interacting with the sim that was a member of the active household. So some pretty big bug fixes, but like I said, there was only 4, and the rest of it is literally just notes for modders, which also isn't as big as normal when it comes to this. So this was definitely a smaller patch, you guys. Like I said, I try to cover this stuff more than often when it comes out than not. But guys, I think I'm gonna leave this one here. Like I said, I don't know, not like my favorite patch we've ever gotten. There was a couple of things I appreciated, but I don't know, it could have been bigger, but at least they're trying, and they're trying to fix some of the big stuff. At least this one doesn't feel like it's just a bunch of little random stuff that doesn't matter. It is stuff that actually matters. I will give them that. But we had that, and we had the new listing for jobs on Parallel Lives, which means they are expanding their team and becoming successful, and I'm so happy for them. Guys, I'm going to leave this one here, so if you made it to this point in the video, I hope you found it educational and entertaining, because that was the entire purpose. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff, because you guys are awesome people. I'll see you next time. Alright, bye!